Ah, the frustrating England weather. I mean, June and July are the worst periods if you have to look at the English weather. And it has again struck. A second rain delay in the second session of day 2 of the fifth and final test between India and England at Edgbaston. England are not in a good position, 3 wickets down. Yet again, the top order has flattered to deceive. Jasprit Bumrah, after that record 35 run over of Stuart Broad, his day just continues to get better. Rename this day as Jasprit Bumrah Day because 35 runs with the bat, 3 wickets, that too of Alex Lees, Zach Crawley, and Ollie Pope, and England are in the pits yet again. However, it is very important that the real England batting, the one that follows the principle of baseball, has now started. Joe Root, Johnny Bairstow, and Ben Stokes. These three guys are only going to be the key now as England aim to erase the deficit. When the day started, we had seen that the weather for day 2 was not looking promising, and it has proven to be true. At 12 local time, there was a burst of rain, and that is why it's happening. Now, at 3 p.m. local, which was about 7:38ish, at that time we had expected another heavy spell of rain. It has happened. The second one, this one currently by which is holding up play, is much, much longer. And it is much heavier. So we could be in for a very long delay, at least if it we'll be lucky if we can get about 20 to 25 overs at least. Because the first rain delay after the lunch break saw plenty of overs being reduced. Although it's a quick drying ground, let us get one thing very clear. Edgbaston is a very quick drying ground and the covers have come on pretty smoothly. But if it is very heavy and if it does not relent, the rest of the outfield drying up could take a lot of time. So the current situation is England have lost their top 3 cheaply again. Johnny Bairstow and Joe Root, 2 of their most important players, are there. So one has to understand that England will have to rely on Stokes, Root, and Bairstow to ensure that the deficit is erased. But at the same time, if we have to look at India's position, what can we say? Shami may not have gotten the wickets, but he bowled brilliantly. In one particular over, though, he got the ball to straighten. Crawley was all at sea. He got leading edges, he got edges. Even of Bairstow, he got an edge. And that fell just in front of the slips. So Shami is getting some movement. Siraj is also getting some movement. But it is Jasprit Bumrah, his brilliance, that continues to ensure that India dominate in the Sena countries. He remarkably, when it comes to his performances in the Sena countries, Jasprit Bumrah is just 1 wicket away from achieving a special milestone. His strike rate is a phenomenal 54.5. It's among the greats in the business. So, Big Bo, what about Shami length? Bit short? I don't think so. Shami was bowling in his elements. He was getting some movement. Some occasional balls he did straight shot. He wanted to hit the hard length, the back of the length area. So perhaps he did err a bit short, but his seam position and movement was simply fantastic. That no ball and getting wicket is highlight of today's game for once, Jane. Yes, yes. There are plenty of highlights, and it's like that no ball and wicket, it reminds me of that template in Lords that the Indian team used. They were bowling hostile stuff, they overstepped, and in the last couple of deliveries, they would get a wicket. That same blueprint has been followed here in Edgbaston in 2022. Seems to have worked in 2021. It's continuing the good work even in 2022. So, James Anderson be like, oh, well, Chandra Mohan, let's not get into that. Will Pujara bat at 3 and Vihari at 1 and say, given that Vihari has opened there also? Yes, it's a good choice. I mean, if Hanuma Vihari, he has had experience opening. Remember, in that 2018-19 series in Australia, it was Vihari and Mayank Agarwal's partnership at the top that ensured India had a solid start to the Melbourne test. So, it will not be too far-fetched to see Vihari open. But yes, India will have to be quite flexible with the top order because every single time the lower order cannot bail you out. India got lucky in 2021 because KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma had hit centuries at the top, and that is why the base was laid. And Lords, let me tell you, in 2021, it was Shami and Bumrah's last wicket stand that gave India a chance. So, AB Abhinav, Anubhav, I'm not getting into that right now. I know the question, I've read it, but I'm not going to take that now. Virat Kohli as we all know, is going through a lean patch. So let's not get into that. His time will come. He will have a change of form. So is the Chandramohan Hansa, is the final time Virat Kohli and Anderson rivalry? Yeah, maybe. That might happen, yes. Virat Kohli might come back to England in 3-4 years' time, but Anderson is almost 40. Will he play? Will he be around in the next time India comes to England, or whether England come to India? That is very, very subjective. We don't know. Anderson is bowling better than ever. 39 years, he gets yet another 5-wicket haul. He's already gone past 100 wickets at home against India. He is simply one of the greatest pace bowlers we have ever had. Period. There can be no doubting about that. Well, Cheteshwar Pujara is really asking me some tough questions. Jam ball or bass ball? Okay. The problem with baseball, according to me, the Brendan McCullum way, the approach with which he gets into Test cricket. If it comes off, it is spectacular. If it does not come off, it looks foolish. Classic case was Trent Bridge versus New Zealand. Ben Stokes had hit a 6. They were aggressive. They wanted to target the New Zealand bowlers. Same over, Ben Stokes holed out. And you could see the rage that Stokes had. Why did he have to attempt that? But in the second innings, 9 overs, that 102-run blitz. So baseball was successful. See, baseball is walking on a tightrope. You either fall or you just go through, it comes off spectacularly. Now jam ball, I mean that new term, I don't know who coined these two terms, but yeah. Choose the moment and then go for the aggression. Perhaps that is the best way going forward. So I don't know which ball is better, but as long as you get the desired results, anything goes. Shami is bowling beautifully. Shriyas Savaikar, he's getting zip of the surface and extend carry. There's movement on the surface for him. But I feel his length of tad, he could have gotten 2-3 wickets. Yeah, but see, Shami is building the pressure to ensure Bumrah strikes at the other end. And Bumrah is bowling in controlled spells. I mean, we never expected Bumrah to bowl 10-12 overs on the trot. He will have 4-5 starbursts and then take wickets. That's how Bumrah operates. Then everyone is saying Virat's wicket is because of bad. My question is because of his luck or his hesitation to play or not to play the shot. Every time we can't say that he's unlucky. Shobhan Sahai. Yes, Shobhan. Kind of agree. Kind of. Because see, at the end of the day, Matthew Potts got that delivery to slightly come in from a good length. Virat Kohli was slightly late. It's again the question of margins. He was slightly 0.1 second late in lifting the bat away. That got the bottom edge and it dragged back onto the stumps. It can happen to anybody. So, Virat Kohli, look, mentally, technically, he is having a tough time. One of our family members pointed out that even when you look at the lean patch, his test runs are not coming very consistently, and we did agree with him. So, yes, Virat Kohli just needs a couple of good knocks to ensure that his luck is turned around. So, yeah. So that's about it, folks. We are just hoping that the rain clears off, but it is still very heavy. And let's keep our fingers crossed that we have at least 20 to 25 overs, yes? Yep. So join us at Sports Today for all the latest analysis. Once we get full information, press the like, comment and share button. And we are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Stay tuned. Thank you.